Been said that Bigfoot exhibits nocturnal behavior, perhaps to hunt or to avoid detection. But the cloak of darkness couldn't hide the creature in the stunning footage you're about to see.
From a witness encountering a baby Bigfoot to the Expedition Bigfoot crew being hunted by 4 humanoid creatures, the proof is too compelling to deny. Here's why. In their Alaskan expedition, the Expedition Bigfoot crew found themselves in a dangerous position. After narrowing down their area of research using modern technology, the team was posted around the hidden mountain lake. Ronnie and Mireya were on the north and south sides and would make their way through the surrounding forest towards the lake, hoping to drive the creature out onto the banks where Russell could observe it with the tethered drone. At this point, using the drone, Russell was looking for anything that would put out a heat trace anywhere near or around the water source that the team had considered a highly likely area to spot a Bigfoot. But that's not all. Ronnie and Mireya were on guard and stayed vigilant to notice any unusual movements. If they were lucky, they hoped to find footprints that would draw them closer to their target. Having been separated by Russell in an attempt to cover more ground, both Ronnie and Mireya were equipped with thermal imaging cameras and other equipment to monitor any of the areas Russell could not see. While Russell was their eyes in the sky, Mireya and Ronnie were having it tough. There were a lot of obstacles, from twigs and fallen tree branches, that made it hard to move at night and made it easily possible for either of them to twist their ankle.
This is the biggest heat signature I've ever seen. It's huge. And now there's another one to the left. There's multiple creatures walking over there.
This meant that one had to watch where they stepped. But the troubles did not stop there. The hardest part was that they couldn't see clearly at night, even with their flashlights. As their search went on, Mireya noticed something. She heard rustling a few meters from where she was standing. In her expertise, she knew that there was something walking towards them, and it seemed like whatever it was moving above them in the trees. It was like the creature intentionally avoided being detected by the human flashlights. But Mireya was not the only one experiencing the strange noises and rustling. As Ronnie looked around for any signs of Bigfoot activity in the darkness of the woods, he heard the rustling too. As he investigated, Mireya reached out to Russell over the radio and expressed her unease. She told Russell that she had heard something and expressed that she felt like she was being watched. Following this, she asked Russell if his drone had detected anything in the area where she was standing. Hearing the tension in her voice, Russell told Mireya that he had not yet spotted anything with his drone. As if getting a false sense of security since Russell had not yet spotted anything, Mireya continued to look around. Meanwhile, Ronnie, having overheard Mireya's conversation with Russell, decided to stay keen.
It's pretty brutal getting back here.
One thing that Mireya stressed to me about this area that she had investigated was the sheer thickness of the thicket and the brush.
Since if Mireya had experienced the presence of the elusive creature, it was just a matter of time before Ronnie experienced it too. And then it happened. Ronnie heard some noises and reported it to Russell as well to see if his drone had captured something. According to Ronnie, the sound seemed to be moving towards the water source. Upon hearing this, Russell became concerned about the well-being of his crew and instructed Ronnie to stay at least a few yards away from the water source since they did not know what to expect. Upon hearing Russell's warning, Ronnie decided to find a safe distance from the water source where he could observe without making direct contact with the creatures of the night. He moved a few meters from where he was standing and hid behind a huge rock as if to show whatever was hunting him that he had surrendered. After reaching behind the rock,
I'm just sitting here in total darkness. I have a huge stump as a blind to my back. I can maneuver around this and take a peek to see what might be coming across.
Ronnie asked Mireya if she could see him through her thermo camera, to which she responded by saying that she could see him clearly. But then Ronnie heard something. A loud breaking sound came from his right side. Hearing this, he told Mireya to use her camera to see what had caused the noise, and then she saw it. Just a few meters away from where Ronnie was, behind a tree, Mireya saw a heat signature. She could not tell whether the creature was crouching as if watching Ronnie, or it was just another creature minding its business. While Mireya saw the heat signature, she could not really tell what it was or what it was doing. The creature remained still without making sudden movements. Seeing this, Mireya radioed Ronnie, asking him if he could hear anything. While he did not hear anything moving or making any noise, Ronnie still felt like a sitting duck being watched by a predator. Using his flashlight, Ronnie tried to find the creature that Mireya was talking about, but he could not see it. It was as if the creature knew how to remain perfectly still so as not to be easily spotted by its prey. Knowing that the creature was just a few meters from where he was, Ronnie decided to go and see what it was. As Mireya guided him to where the creature was, the thermal camera suddenly stopped working. By the time it got back online, the creature had disappeared. It was as if whatever was hiding behind the tree was taunting them. While Ronnie might have dodged a bullet, Mireya was about to face her own monsters. A few yards away from where she was standing, Mireya saw something moving. Upon taking a closer look with her binoculars, she saw a weird-looking creature walking on two legs. When one of the crew members asked her if she could only hear movement rather than see it,
Wait, are you seeing movement or are you just hearing?
No. I see movement, but I'm not picking up a heat signature.
she claimed to have spotted something moving and hiding behind the trees. While she was definitely sure of what she was seeing, she was not getting a heat signature from her camera. This was a strange phenomenon. Not knowing what to do about it, she radioed Russell and reported that there was something moving in front of her, but she could not see it even with the special technology. In her words to Russell, Mireya described the shadowy figure as a black silhouette moving past her. What could it have been? Having captured no image or footage of the creature from his drone, Russell also informed Mireya to walk away from the water source as a safety precaution and find better ground to observe. As Mireya communicated with Russell, Ronnie heard the felling and breaking of trees a few yards from where he was standing. Upon hearing the breaking of branches, Ronnie was a bit scared. He knew that there were no loggers cutting trees in the middle of the woods, not to mention in the middle of the night. As he tried to follow the noise, Russell radioed him, asking for an update regarding the noises he could hear. Ronnie reported that the noises were moving in a specific direction, as if whatever was causing them was intended to stay hidden. Being a seasoned survivalist, Russell warned Ronnie that the creature's behavior seemed to indicate that the creature was tracking Ronnie. For this reason, Russell told Ronnie to move further away from the water source. Having been creeped out by the noises, Ronnie moved further away from the water source. On Mireya's side, things got a little more interesting. She continued to see the movement of shadowy figures camouflaging in the trees, as if avoiding being seen directly. If they were avoiding being seen by Ronnie and Mireya, there was a high possibility that these creatures could see them. As she paid close attention to what she was seeing, the shadowy figure moved to an area with fewer trees, and Mireya saw it. Whatever she was looking at was huge.
Whatever that is, it is walking across the forest. It's huge. This is the biggest heat signature I've ever seen. It's huge.
It was the biggest heat signature she had ever seen. But things got more interesting. As she was hooked on observing one creature through her thermo-powered binoculars, another creature appeared right next to the first one. Shocked by this finding, Mireya quickly radioed Russell and communicated in whispers as if not to draw the creature's attention to her, since she was standing about 100 yards away from them. These multiple huge heat signatures were walking through the forest, and they seemed to be heading in Mireya's direction. Then all of a sudden, Mireya lost sight of the creatures. Could they have been on to her? Hearing this, Russell quickly reached out to Ronnie and informed him that Mireya was in a situation that he was not comfortable with. Despite the fact that she had lost sight of two heat signatures, she was hidden in the tree canopies, which made it hard for Russell to see her using his drone. But it gets even worse. She could not make any sudden noises or try to run in the woods since it would draw the attention of the beasts, making her a target for the creatures. Knowing this, Russell instructed Ronnie to look for Mireya and get to her as fast as he could since it was not safe. And then the noises grew louder. Mireya heard the noises get closer to where she was. She heard tree branches cracking way too close to her, as if one of the creatures had come to say hello. At first, she thought it was Ronnie. She radioed Ronnie and asked him if he was the one causing the noises she was hearing. To her surprise, Ronnie was still on the other side of the lake, trying to find the quickest way to get to her. It was at this moment that she realized that she was not alone. Thinking that Ronnie was playing a prank on her, she radioed him again, asking where exactly he was. Overhearing the conversation, Russell warned Mireya to move away from where she was standing.
Mireya, I need you to back out of that area. Ronnie,
He's a quarter-mile away. He's too far away for him to be right in your vicinity.
back out of that area.
I'll make my way back.
And confirmed that Ronnie was over a quarter-mile away from her. Hearing this, Mireya quickly turned and started getting away from the area. As Mireya walked away, she heard noises again, but this time, it was Ronnie who had caught up to her. Knowing this, Russell felt a bit better knowing that none of his team members was isolated. After meeting each other, both Mireya and Ronnie could not shake off the feeling that they were not alone in the woods. They felt like they were being watched, and that whatever was watching them maintained a safe distance as if to avoid being detected. Yet, this is not the first time Bigfoot has behaved in this elusive manner. While Mireya and her crew experienced the creepy side of the encounter, other witnesses have had quite a pleasant encounter. Barb's multiple encounters. Ever since she was a child, Barb Shoop has always been fascinated with Bigfoot. The mystery surrounding these elusive creatures made her curious about them, and she always hoped one day to encounter one. Her first introduction to Bigfoot was in the 1970s. Her family had gone camping at Spirit Lake near Mount St. Helens, where the rangers gathered the kids around a bonfire for storytelling. The tales of the wilderness included eerie stories, like the one about Ape Canyon, where miners claimed they were attacked by strange ape men. Hearing these stories, Barb was instantly drawn in and captivated by the tales, unlike her younger brother, who found it all a bit too scary. Back then, without the internet, Barb could only catch bits of Bigfoot legends on TV now and then, but her fascination never faded. As she grew up, her curiosity deepened, and she found herself drawn to the woods, hoping for a glimpse of the creature. But, with no sightings of her own, she started thinking maybe Bigfoot was just a myth told to kids to scare them and prevent them from going to the woods alone. That changed in the early 1990s when she discovered something that defied all her beliefs about Bigfoot. In April 1992, while walking along a logging road near her cabin, Barb noticed something odd. The tops of several trees were broken off, looking like they hadn't fallen naturally. Her curiosity led her further into the woods until she found a perfect footprint. She paused, realizing this was something far from ordinary. She imagined how the creature might have stepped there, the uneven ground causing its foot to slip, leaving behind a deep, clear impression in the dirt. The print was large, and it looked like the creature had stepped between two trees, snapping their tops in the process. Following this incident, Barb's belief in Sasquatch was reignited. A few years later, Barb came across other strange signs but brushed them off, reasoning that if Bigfoot was real, people would talk about it. Then, in 2006, an unusual encounter made her question just how close these creatures might be to her. One day, while she was outside looking for her missing cat, a big, black, furry shape fell from a tree, bounced off her cabin's roof, and vanished from view. When she checked, all she found was a very fluffed-up chicken on her porch. Barb couldn't help but wonder if this might have been a young Sasquatch, and if so, she wondered where its mother was. The thought never left her mind, even if it seemed too strange to accept. In 2012, her suspicions were confirmed. She was watching a herd of elk near her cabin when she saw a large, dark figure walking alongside them. In that instant, Barb knew what she'd seen years earlier had indeed been a baby Sasquatch. But this was not the end of it. After that, strange occurrences became more frequent. One evening, while searching for her missing cat by a creek, Barb heard a noise. It started like an owl's hoot, but quickly turned into a deep, unsettling growl. She knew no bird could make a sound like that. Alone in the woods, the eerie growl left her on edge, wondering what might be out there watching her. Over time, Barb noticed other odd signs. Rocks were thrown near her, branches were arranged in peculiar ways, and piles of sticks appeared in the woods as if deliberately placed. These were the same signs the Expedition Bigfoot crew had witnessed in many of their expeditions. Barb even saw strange glowing orbs moving among the trees, like yellow lights bouncing playfully. At first, she thought they might be forest spirits, but she later began to connect these events to Sasquatch. But the real shock came during an encounter she would later call the Cloaker event. Barb and her friend Sandy hosted a campout for people interested in Bigfoot, attracting followers from her YouTube channel who wanted to experience the woods where Barb had so many encounters. During a group hike, Barb spotted something about 80 feet away. A black, triangular-shaped head peeked above the undergrowth and then darted away, all covered in hair. Though it vanished quickly, Barb wasn't the only one to see something strange. A few hikers on the trail saw what looked like a small black monkey climbing down a tree before disappearing into the bushes. From the many confessions, Barb believed that she might have been witnessing a family of Sasquatches in the area. Later, when she reviewed her camera footage, she saw a faint, shifting figure that seemed to cloak itself, like the creature from the Predator movies. She could hardly believe what she was seeing. Barb had seen Sasquatches vanish before, but this time, with the footage in hand, she couldn't rationalize it away. She showed the footage to others, confirming that this was no ordinary sight. From then on, she began to accept that Sasquatches might have abilities beyond normal understanding. Not long after, on a trip to the Blue Mountains, Barb felt a strange energy she could only describe as being zapped or sizzled, something she'd heard about but had never experienced herself. She felt like she was being watched, and the glowing eyes she saw in the dark only heightened her sense of being observed by these creatures. Returning home, Barb felt an odd mix of excitement and unease. She knew these creatures were aware of her, capable of things she didn't fully understand. Her logical mind wanted to deny it, but the signs were too strong to ignore. The woods she once knew now felt different, and she found herself looking at her surroundings with new eyes. Today, Barb still experiences signs of Sasquatch around her cabin. Every now and then, she hears tree knocks or distant vocalizations answering her calls. Occasionally, they leave small trinkets, stones, and other signs that seem intentional, almost like gestures of acknowledgement. After all these years, Barb believes these occurrences aren't as random as people think them to be. To her, they're purposeful acts from these creatures. While Barb's encounters are peaceful, not all stories have a happy ending. A couple's traumatic encounter. Washington State, being the world's top spot for reported Bigfoot sightings, has kept the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, RMS, team busy, driving them to search the area and examine any signs pointing to Bigfoot's presence. But then one day, they received a message that made them rethink everything. It was from a man named Joseph S. He had experienced something strange in the woods, but hadn't been sure who to talk to without being criticized. When he found RMS, he finally thought his story might make sense to someone. According to Joseph, the encounter happened back in 2016. He was walking through Olympic National Park with his girlfriend and their Rottweiler, a big, tough dog named Tina. After a long hike, they decided to take a shortcut home, but that shortcut had something unexpected waiting for them. Soon after they started on the path, Tina, normally brave and protective, began to whine. Joseph and his girlfriend found it strange. Tina was usually fearless, always alert and on guard, and even growled when she saw other animals. But on this trail, she was cowering behind Joseph's girlfriend, clearly afraid. The couple paused, fully alert now, sensing that something unusual was nearby.
We were confused and we started to observe our surroundings with more attention. Just 50 feet away from us, we spotted something big and orange moving and crossing the trail. It looked like a big man with orange, shaggy hair head to toe.
Then they saw it. Around 50 feet ahead, something large and orange moved across their path. Joseph saw a figure like a giant man covered in thick, shaggy orange hair. Its skin was black, and as he studied the creature, he realized its features were strange. Its head seemed like a mix between a human's and a gorilla's, but with odd proportions. Its mouth was unusually wide, its ears were small, and its forehead sloped forward, almost giving it a heavy monobrow appearance. It had a flat nose that looked oddly human-like, and its eyes were dark, with no whites showing. Joseph, his girlfriend, and Tina were all frozen, trying to process what they were looking at. From their position, Joseph estimated the creature was about 8 to 10 feet tall. It had a massive muscular frame with broad shoulders and thick arms. In its left hand, it held what looked like the bloody carcass of a large animal. Though Joseph couldn't tell exactly what kind of animal it was, the creature held it effortlessly, as if it weighed no more than a rabbit. As Tina whimpered again, the creature's head snapped toward them. The movement was so quick that Joseph barely had time to react. His girlfriend covered her mouth, likely to keep from screaming. The creature seemed startled as it stared at them for about 5 seconds. Then, it turned and took off, moving from a slow walk to a sprint and disappearing into the trees. Once it was gone, the couple didn't waste a moment. They hurried along the trail, eager to get out of the park as fast as they could. Before that day, Tina had been a brave dog, always quick to bark and growl, even at bears. But after the encounter, her behavior changed. She became fearful, even of people, other dogs, and smaller animals. Worried, the couple took her to a vet, who noted that Tina seemed traumatized. When the vet asked what might have caused it, Joseph explained that they had met a large animal in the woods, though he didn't mention Bigfoot. Hearing this, the vet replied that whatever it was must have been enormous to scare a dog like Tina. From a witness encountering a baby Bigfoot to the Expedition Bigfoot crew being hunted by 4 humanoid creatures, this was why the proof was too compelling to deny.